Oh, hey, how y'all doing? Oh, you ready to go look at some bees? I got a few things I can do today. Are you ready to go? I mean, we got everything together. I don't feel like go. Okay. I'll be out in a minute. Looks like y'all are ready. Hey everybody, this is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike and I do bees. Welcome back to another day in my 2020 beekeeping season where I take you all the way from winter all the way to the next fall here in my small operation in southeast Louisiana. And remember, this is not a how-to video. This is simply me logging my season from start to finish. But if you pick up any tips and tricks, that's great. And if you have any tips and tricks for me, be sure to leave them in the comment section. Alright guys, so right now I'm next door. I keep a couple hives next door here in a spare stand in case I need to ever move hives or whatever. I have a couple hives out here I need to go ahead and check. One of them is a hive that has been back here since last year. It was an old swarm that was moved out of a 5-frame into a 10-frame. And the other one is that removal that I showed you at the beginning of the season where I took that hive off that man's property. Now that hive is basically abandoned. The owner never contacted him about it. He's seen the owner. They've never said anything about it. They haven't come contact me about it. Nobody has come to claim it, and it's been a few months now. So we'll go ahead and break this thing apart, see what's usable on it, what's not, because there were a few rotten pieces on it, and frankly, this thing hasn't been gone through in probably a couple years. I did pop the top on it. Ooh, I'm breathing hard. I did pop the top on it and take a look inside when I first moved it here, and they're using the top entrance, and it had plastic frames and one cracked immediately, so I didn't go any further because I was waiting for somebody to claim it. But since they didn't, we're going to go ahead and open it up and see if we can get it, you know, condensed down to a normal hive. I don't think we will because it's got 2 mediums on top and 2 deeps on the bottom, and I think they're in the top 3 boxes, so it's going to be a mismatch, but at least we can consolidate it and kind of handle up on it and see where it stands and see where we stand with it. I want to know in my mind where it's at. I would think it's pretty close to ready to swarm, but maybe not. We'll see. All right, well, we're gonna get started. I'll go ahead and take a look at that one to see where we stand on it, and then we're gonna go through that top one and see what they have going on in there. Let's get started. All right, guys, I'm gonna zip through this one real quick. Bear with me. This is my new tripod, so I got to figure it out. It's definitely different. Bees are bringing in a ton of pollen. But we're gonna go through this one really quick. It should be growing pretty well. Yeah, they're building comb on the top. I can see it in here. So we're probably behind on this one. I haven't been in this one in a few weeks. But I can see burr comb. Oh yeah, look at that hive. It's full. Needs a box. It needs a box. Let's see what we got in here. We're in it. Might as well look, right? And the bees, it's kind of cloudy. I'm in my rubber boots today because it's so wet. It rained again yesterday. I've had nothing but rain. Everything is soaked. And it's cloudy. Ooh, this smoke. And it's just not been the best weather at all. Yeah, they're full. They would like to draw. Kind of hard when you have no nectar flow. Now my arm might be in the way because I'm actually doing this from the wrong side, but I have nowhere else to lay the camera. Yeah, this thing is packed. I'm gonna go ahead and pull each frame and look for swarm cells. They're drawing that one out. I'm watching them on you guys. I'll give you some smoke. Oh yeah, they got honey in this one. This was a light hive, and it's actually got some weight to it now. It's full of pollen. We know, what do we know about the pollen? Once we see that, we're getting ready to get in the brood nest. And as I said, look at that, beautiful. I see him hitting the camera again. Hear him. It's not the best time of year, it seems like. They're usually not like this when the nectar starts flowing. Yeah. Big old drones in there. That's a big old drone right there. There's a drone right there, big old thing. No, they don't sting. Look at that. There's the queen right there. See if you see her. Can't point her out because this is a heavy frame. But there she is. Big caramel colored queen. And looking by the pattern, a good one. Let's get her back together. Alright, yeah, I get excited. We're gonna get them buttoned up. Okay, that's it. They need a box. I'll get that on this afternoon and they'll be set for another few weeks. Alright guys, here's the hive we picked up a couple months ago. Homeowner had it on his property when he bought it. He knew who the owner was, he said, or called somebody that knew whose hive it was. They were told about it. They sent somebody over. The person said they'd come get it. They never come got it. Then he closed on the house. The hive's still on his property. He waited, and it went on for about a year. And he finally said, I need somebody to get it off. So I went and got it off for him. And nobody's claimed it. He's seen the fellow, and there's been no discussion about it. So I really wasn't looking forward to going into this one. I was ready to send it on the way down the road. I don't know what I'm bringing home, but I know some of the equipment might be rotten, but some of it might not be. It looks solid. So I know the bottom board is, and the top obviously, but that's what happens. You gotta watch when you do plywood, and I always try to do the grain the other way. It won't warp as easy. I don't know what these bees are like. I opened that one day. They were a little ornery, but shoot, it was early fall. So could you blame them? You know. I mean, early fall. What was I thinking? It was late winter. I think there's a pile of them in here. We're gonna find out. Okay, so what it says, he's got 2 mediums, and I only use those for honey supers, which he probably did too. But it's been abandoned for so long that they're all up here now. I think they're at least down in the bottom too. I mean the blue one. We're gonna find out. Show you what he's got. He used all plastic frames. I used plastic foundation, but not plastic frames. And for this reason right here, that was broken when I opened it last time. These are all mediums. So, let's take a look. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna set y'all at a distance. I can't put you right there. I got nothing to put you on. So I might just go ahead and start breaking boxes apart. It's stuck together for a while. Bees everywhere. Look good on Burcombe. Now he's got no handles on these. That already makes it a box I would have to modify. It's a honey box. It can weigh 40 pounds when you pull it off full of honey. Sometimes up to 50. And you gotta have handles. Oh, and that frame fell out. All right. Yeah. Be careful. Well, there's not a ton of bees. Smells good. All right. Yeah. Check this out. You think it hadn't been open in a while? Mushrooms growing on the side. Fungus. Yeah. Look like they got some bees. Get some smoke going. Like I said, there could be a chance of swarming. Let's look at the bottom. I'll show you what I found. Let's look at the bottom. Okay, that's a cell about finished. That one. There's a couple cups in here. There's some cups. So, and then of course you got some drones. Let's see. There's almost fully developed. Not many drones. I was gonna look for mites, but it's a good full box. Decent box, but now the question is what do I do with it? You know, I got broken frames, mediums. Probably just put it back together and let them work their way out of the mediums into the deeps. Maybe reverse them and bring the deeps up top. Depends what the condition of the comb is. I'm gonna get busy. Drone brood, there's cells. Look at those cells. Yeah, see, they've got, and these cells could be from a year ago too, because they don't tear them all the way down sometimes. But because cells are in the middle doesn't mean they're not swarm cells. They build where they can sometimes. Got to look at the condition of the hive, and I can't see in that one, but basically they probably swarmed or are getting ready to, and I'll let them. Looks like he should have pulled this last year. He would have got a good honey crop. Maybe he quit. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The pollen they're bringing in, bright yellow pollen. I don't know where it's from. There's a lot of that butterweed out, that stockweed. There's pollen being stored. She usually isn't on the pollen frame. Let's put it back together and see what we got in the bottom. Yeah, there's all your drone brood. Have to reposition the camera. None of these boxes have handles on them. I don't know about that. Yeah, they don't care for being broken into in so long. Don't see any mites. Pointed the Mr. Ed tool, basically that I stick back in there, raise it up, and I can break the frames free. They've been together so long. Man, that's some tough stuff. Got it. This thing is pretty much empty. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make this our next bee box. I wanna push them in there. Get them all together. Old comb. Yeah, I was kind of knew there wasn't anybody been in this hive for a while, and I was kind of concerned though still about taking the issue. Now that I see the neglect, I'm not sweating it. And honestly, this is what I wasn't looking forward to, but I knew it had to be done eventually. I put this off, kind of halfway hoping they'd swarm, but didn't work out. And no handles. I can't get over that. So I'm gonna put this one. Sorry about that. Alright, my decision is this. I'm not going to disrupt that box right now much more than I already have. I'm going to go ahead and leave it alone for now. While it's not a great box, it'll work until I figure out how I'm going to reconfigure everything and get them to move out. Because I don't want them in those mediums. I'll throw those away. Melt that down, scrape it, whatever. But let's get this one put together. Handles. Very handy. Handles are handy. There we go. Basically did a box reversal. Now I'm going to put the supers back on top. What that's going to do is the brood will come out. As the brood comes out and as honey comes in, they'll begin to fill the top. Load the bottom. Queen will move down. I'll give them about 3 weeks. I'll come back and check them. No handles. Remember, handles are handy. Come on, bees. I do want to hurry up because there is some robbing going on behind me on that cone. Alright guys, here's where we're at. I got a pile of bees around. They're confused about their entrance. They're starting to find their hive, but then again, some could be robbing because I've got a good frenzy going on down here. I'm getting ready to have to stop. And I got a good frenzy going on down here, and they're all in my barn, so I know they're robbing right now. So I gotta wrap this up quick. So if you ever wondered what robbing looks like, that's what it looks like. My fault for leaving it out. I knew it was going to happen because once I started yanking out honey, but I just want to get this hive done. I've been putting it off. Heck, it had been worse early on. At least there's some nectar, but they're trying to find every crack, and watch how they just fall off of there. They just fall off in droves. But I'm getting ready to reduce the entrance, and there's a couple of gaps up here on my plug. There's that old rotten box. I'll smoke them off. And don't want to mess with my good hive next door. But they're holding their own, it looks like. They ain't even closed. Look at them. So I'm going to fix that here in a second. And they can fend for themselves. They're a big enough hive. And again, some of that's probably bees coming back going, where's our entrance? Getting ready to fix it up. Alright guys. Alright guys, I came back out about 3 hours later. looking pretty good. 60 degrees, sun's going down, everybody's coming on back in. Got a bunch of bees hanging out right here because that used to be an entrance. And so they're trying to figure it out, but a lot of them have got it figured out down here. They had some robbing going on, there's a few dead bees, there's a bunch of wax pulled out, they're cleaning things out, they're getting it straightened back out. We'll let them get settled in. Now again, the hope is that, point those two boxes right there, that they'll eventually, with the brood emerge, and they'll backfill it with honey. And then our second deep there, that's all comb, empty comb, goes on the bottom. And then the bottom one, that's got brood and bees and honey. Of course, we got brood and bees and honey in the top two. But the hope is that she'll move on down. She'll go on down, and she'll start laying in the second one, and they'll emerge from the top, and then they'll backfill with honey. And then I can pull those off, pull that honey, refeed it back, and or use the frames somewhere else to feed, and get back to normal and strip it. Now, the other option was to just basically take two mediums, shake all the bees down into the deeps, arrange the deeps where I want, and put the lid back on and call it a day. But you know, I just didn't feel like doing it because it was going to be hard enough to pull everything apart. It was difficult enough to break everything loose. So, in that hive, I know where it was. I used to see it all the time. That hive has probably been sitting beside that, where it was, beside the road, beside the highway, for at least 4 or 5 years. And I don't know the last time they were in it, but I guarantee it's been at least 2 years. So breaking it all apart was enough just to get some stuff out, figure it out, switch it around a little bit, organize it, and now we'll go from here. If they don't empty the tops, that's fine. I'll just shake them out later, but right now is not the time to do it, you see. Well, look guys, I'm all wrapped up with that. That hive was a disaster. As far as, that's what happens when you just leave hives. It was a mess. It was stuck together. The frames were stuck together. There's burr comb, there was queen cells, there was all kind of stuff in it. All I wanted to do was basically go through it and see wherever all the bees were, where the brood was, and begin to straighten out the boxes. You saw one box was rotten, so I replaced that one. What I did was put a box of empty comb in the second position. On the bottom, I put a nice heavy box of brood and some honey out of the other deep. Took the two mediums, put them on top, hoping that the bees will, as they emerge out, the queen will move on down to that empty comb. Maybe she'll lay in there. As the bees in the two mediums emerge, hopefully they'll backfill it with honey. If they don't, I'll end up shaking them out, freezing them, and you know, getting them somehow forced into those two boxes. But I honestly did not feel like doing a bunch of bee shaking and going and putting all the frames away. I'm gonna try and let them do it on their own. They could swarm. There were some swarm cells, but they broke apart when I broke the frames apart. You know, they were damaged then because that thing was stuck together as one big unit. And so we'll go from there, see what happens with it. I don't know. I wasn't looking forward to that. I don't do cutouts anymore, and I don't do stuff like that anymore unless I'm helping somebody, and that was what that was. I was giving the guy a hand. Or cutouts if I'm helping somebody out. I don't enjoy doing that stuff. I like everything neat and orderly and in order when I tear it apart. So you saw there was a bunch of robbing going on, and you know, nothing I could do about that. I had it apart for so long. The nectar flow's not great. You're going to get some robbing when there's wide open honey like that. But they should settle down soon because it's not a major dearth or anything. I'm looking at a plum tree full of blooms right now. And I think too, a lot of that, look, they're all over me now. They smell me. But I think a lot of that too was a lot of those bees trying to come back to that upper entrance. But then it did turn into bona fide robbing. And what I was saying, I said something about my barn. I can always tell when there's robbing going on somewhere around, or there's an open feeding, or I'm putting out some wet supers. The bees know to go to my barn because I got a lot of boxes and stuff in there. And when my barn doors are covered with bees and bees are all inside, I know there's robbing going on or open feeding going on somewhere around my hives. So that was happening when I went back to get some frames. You saw what I did with the box next door. It's packed full of bees. Gonna have to get another box on that. Not gonna do that until after this robbing subsides, probably this evening or tomorrow after work. I've got another box out there that we put a second deep on 2 days ago in my video, and we're gonna go take a look at that and just see how much they've done in 2 days. And that'll be a separate video, of course. And then think that's all I've got going on for right now. I got to assess what I want to do with some of these hives. I think right now we're kind of at a point where we can just hang tight. I got to go check and see if that nuke's formed, and how I do that is just go out there and look at my little tree line and look around and see if I see them and see if they're still coming and going. That's it. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you know when I upload videos. And make sure and share it with your friends and family. Anybody you know that's interested in bees or just likes watching them. Just showing you my season here in southeast Louisiana, and I'm glad you guys can come along. Hopefully the next one won't be far behind it. So anyway, this is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. I got to get back in here and finish what I was doing when y'all came along. Y'all have a great one, and God bless y'all.